Welcome to Through the Looking Glass. On today's episode, we're going to be taking a step back into the Wicked realm. We've got Mike and Chris back on for another episode. But before we do that, as always, I'm going to hand it on over to Russ.
Welcome back. Another episode of Through the Looking Glass podcast. We're just about to approach our 1-year anniversary. See our progression as we go. And we got Mike Templar and Chris Chichester back for the Wicked Realm Film Festival. We had a blast last year. It's going to be fun to see what they pull out this year. Some of the movies were fucking sick, so that's going to be great. Join us again. Let's see how we do, and let's get these guys promoted. You know, the more people show up, the better for everybody, and independent filmmakers get recognized, and that's always a plus. Screw Hollywood. Let's get into it.
So, Mike, Chris, how you guys doing? How you feeling about this year's festival?
I'm doing pretty good.
Super excited. Got a lot of really cool things planned. A lot of really cool things going on.
Yeah.
All right. So the first question I wanted to start off with is, what's different about the festival this year compared to last year?
Sweet. So last year was the first year that we started taking entries from wherever, all over the world, really. And we really underestimated how many entries and how dope the entries were going to be. So we started, the selection process this year has been way more exclusive. We waited till the very end to select any films. All of the films this year are just like super all killer, no filler. Really, I think that's going to set us apart. This year, everything could headline an evening.
Nice.
And another cool thing is this year, for the first time, we're doing themed nights. So each night is a different theme. And so that's new for us. The first night is red carpet night. Most of the New York State entries are going to be on that red carpet night. We're expecting a lot more people to be there that are local. We have Empire State Award this year. And so that's something we're adding. And then the second night is going to be Intergalactic Night. It's going to be space-themed and sci-fi, you know, into a kind of a Twilight Zone type of direction.
That's my shit right there.
Hell yeah.
That's mine.
The third night is Blood, Guts, Gore. You know what that is. So that's going to be the most
Pretty self-explanatory.
Absolutely. That's the bloody night. And then the final night is the Night of the Gangster Octopus. So that's going to end with the 3 Gangster Octopus productions that we did this year, as well as some other entries. One's like a comedy and then a horror. And, things are looking awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Can't wait to see them.
So you answered my second question, too, which was going to be breakdown of the 4 nights. So, Mike, so you had mentioned the process this year was a little more meticulous and exclusive for picking what made it into the festival. How exactly do you guys go about choosing what makes it in and what doesn't?
And how many entries did you have?
How many entries did we have?
So this year we had 69 entries, and we're playing 34 films that are between a minute and 30 minutes. And because of our exponential growth with this process, we already opened up 2025, and we have 3 hours of footage to review already.
Wow.
Yeah.
For sure. So, and what was the question?
So, like, what's your process in picking the films?
Yeah, and so the film crew that we have, Gangster Octopus, we've been making films for years together. So essentially, when we get a new film, we treat it as a get-together. We all sit down, we review the footage, take a look at it, and then we do kind of a voting process on what should make it. You know, there's some automatic like disqualifiers, and you know, it's just been a really cool deal, and it's been nice to see how much really quality stuff is out there. It's insane.
Yeah, I remember last year you guys said you had entries even from Iraq that came in. That was
Iran,
dope.
but it's pretty
Iran?
close. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Middle East.
Yeah, so with Middle East, Europe, like UK, Ireland, all over, and it was really cool. And we have the same sort of deal this year as well. The cool thing is we link up with filmmakers from all over the world through this thing called Film Freeway, and essentially they can enter from all over the world. So it's a pretty cool process.
Antarctica?
Yeah, man. Get some penguins going on. Penguins with fangs.
Not yet, but it will happen.
It will eventually.
You know what's interesting about this process is that we've learned so much about the variation in quality because you don't see that so much on TV, which is very, but on the independent scene, you never know what's going to throw you off. And we've seen high budget things that were like, wow, this must have cost $100,000 to make. And then it ends up just sucking and just being terrible. And we're like, we can't use this. And we make fun of it. And then we watched another one where it was just like a really low quality YouTube video that these girls made in their apartment. And it didn't look like it was going to be anything. And then we ended up loving it. And they made it for free in like a couple hours or something. And everything in between. So it's a wide variation.
That's one of those things you can't like force a good idea, or
You can't force a bad idea to be good.
yeah, and you can't force talent out of somebody that doesn't have the talent or the passion to create a project like that. And some people just got skills, others don't, and it sounds like that's all that really matters. You could put $20 billion into a production and it bomb at a box office. We've seen that.
Yeah,
over the
bigger
last couple
budget
years.
doesn't mean better product.
Yeah, you might have the best
Well,
CGI, but if it's a terrible
It's
story,
like you were
then-
saying about the one podcast we went on because they had a much bigger budget. They had the couch, the nice,
they had
expensive
a
Sony
good studio.
cameras, but then
I'm just always grass is
the
always
final
greener.
product, it was. No offense, Jesse looked like a ghost. He was so bright in the video. Like,
I mean,
I
he
was
is
so,
ginger,
yeah.
so
That's invisible.
now you said automatic disqualifiers. When you said that, I was like immediately interested
Yeah.
in
Yo,
what those are.
So I'll throw one. So when Chai and I were kids, all right, we were watching, we were going through all these VHSs. We saw a VHS, and in it there was this like horror movie set in like in the Amazon, and in the movie they legit killed animals in the movie, but it was the Amazonians doing their thing. Like there's nothing wrong with what they were doing,
Right.
but since they had filmed it on like a way to make money, we were all like, "That's fucking terrible." You know what I mean? So same thing. There was there was a clip of some actual violence in one of the movies. The movie was really good, and the violence helped maybe even tell a story, but it was real violence, and so it was like,
Right.
no, this is supposed to be cool. You know what I mean? Anything that gets weird and like sexualized and stuff like that. We want like kids to be not kids, but like 13 plus to be able to come hang out. So we stay away from the nudity, not necessarily needed.
Good.
You know what I mean? So really, and those things that are just kind of like borderline.
To clarify, it was like a guy cutting a fish. Like he was gutting the fish,
It was
and
a
it was just
turtle.
up
Chop
close.
his head off.
No, that,
I mean, if that's what it is,
yeah. So another one this year, I'll talk about it because we didn't accept it, and it was a movie about a school shooter, and it was actually really good, and it was scary, and it was tense, and it was controversial, and then at the end, it did like a quick compilation of like actual security cam footage of us from school shooter events, and we're just like, absolutely not. You know, like,
Yeah.
that's when you
Would you
reach
be able
out.
to just get a hold of them and be like, "Hey, can we cut that?"
we tried, and
did.
they respectfully declined.
Yep, and that's peace because that's their piece of
Yeah,
whatever they're
yep,
doing. So
yeah.
that's square.
It's
and at the
their
same
art.
time, it's our choice to be like,
Yeah.
nah, it's not really the vibe we're going for.
And that production house actually has either 3 or 4 other films in our festival this year.
Right,
also, so.
because they're good, they're talented. It's just off what we're trying to accomplish. you know?
Feels like they might have been trying to like send a deeper message with it, like
For sure.
You
For
like-
sure.
this is the violence that
and the movie
happens,
plays
and
to that.
this is- yeah.
And the movie
Yeah.
plays to that, which is why that's why we wanted to accept it, and that's why they're good filmmakers. But it was the clip of the stuff that they didn't film. That
Yeah.
they didn't specifically, if they would have recreated something cinematically,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But then it takes a turn towards, because, horror is kind of like a glorification too, because like, and you root
It
for it, and it's fun, and who gives a shit? But at the same time, if we're going to root for something, it shouldn't be a clip of some fucking shit that actually went down.
of actual happenings.
It's supposed to be a fun
Fun.
event. We want everyone to be like, oh, that was fun, not like, oh, that was
Yeah.
fucked
Took
up.
it to a serious place real quick with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can be rough, for sure. Have you guys ever questioned like legality of showing any kind of films? Like you said with the animal thing, and now with them showing the clips of possible actual active shooter stuff. Like I know the American film industry, their film association, they have the no animals were harmed in the making of this because we cannot show that. Have you ever worried or like dived a bit into that.
No, I can't wait till we can worry about shit like that. Quite frankly, that means we're doing some shit right, and we got like, all right, let's get our lawyers involved. That means
Right.
the squad's doing well enough in that endeavor.
We could play a Marvel movie and hopefully they'd notice.
Yeah, right.
Oh, trust me,
Yeah,
Marvel would notice.
Disney will notice. Disney
yeah,
will
they'll notice.
We're not gonna play a Metallica cover or a Disney movie. You know what I mean? Those.
I mean, they copyright strike people for just doing Mickey's voice on YouTube. So
It's possible that a thing or two might have slid by in terms of like music, but since everything is such independently done, it seems like we're in the clear because everyone is responsible for their own content, and we know that process of like YouTube strikes and making sure that you have proper use of everyone that we're dealing with is on that same level and is doing that, and yeah.
good.
So it sounds like it's something you guys will never have to worry about.
Well, we want to worry
Until we
about
make
it.
it that
Yeah.
Monday.
Then we want to worry about it because then people are trying to sue us for whatever portion it is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So how'd you guys go about getting the new venue for this year?
It just popped up.
Yeah, man. I mean, we had to find a venue, so a venue popped up. I mean,
Just like the
that's-
L.
yeah.
It just popped up. The
So,
L
like-
was over, and we're like, what are we going to do? And then this new venue was just like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah,
So
man.
like you didn't even have to search hard?
Well,
or-
I mean, I find a lot of things that happen end up being almost feel like kismet. Yeah, I mean, we were looking. I was looking, and we found it. It was like, you know what I mean? It's an interesting deal how things like that work. You know.
It sounds deterministic, doesn't it?
It doesn't.
It does.
It
What do you
does.
mean?
That's more coincidental.
The whole
No, so I think what
He
you
wants to dive into this debate about determinism so badly.
determinism versus free will.
Well, I would like to think that like how you would carry yourself would determine whether or not good things or optimistic things would happen to you. Like if I walked around that same day and I didn't think opportunity was fucking everywhere, I'd be too bummed about losing the last venue to even notice the new venue.
Right.
So
right.
just because I'm
being
I'm,
optimistic or pessimistic.
yeah, I'm like
make all the
word, you know,
difference.
a door shut. That must mean something's about to, you know what I mean? And I mean, well, I'm not going to not have a venue. I got to do the fucking show. We can't not do
Right.
the show without a venue. So I mean, of course, the venue's going to just fucking pop up.
Somebody's backyard.
Yeah, fucking A. And
One of those
some,
blow up screens.
Yeah.
So that's where the initiative comes in because this venue isn't suited for what we're doing. We have a 24-foot blow up, like a
Oh, you
little
guys
kids
are using
blow up
a blow-up
screen,
thing. Oh, nice.
house screen,
It's
and now we got projector, and it's like we have to build our own.
Yes.
It was 24 feet or 18. Was you remember?
It's 24, and they
It's
measure
diagonal.
that
24
diagonal.
diagonally.
Okay.
It's fucking bigger than a house. All right. It's huge. All right.
That'll be pretty
It's
dope.
not that big.
Well, it's big. It's big.
About the second floor.
Yeah, for sure. Bigger than a ranch style house. It'll dwarf a ranch style house, that's for sure. But yeah, it's pretty fucking big, and it does certainly take up a huge portion of space inside that church.
It's going to be beautiful, really.
Yeah, it really is.
They turned that church into what, a sporting complex?
Yeah, it's cool. They got basketball in there. They got cornhole. They got they're putting an arcade. They got a barbershop going in. They do venue shit all over there. I mean, the guy's cool too. I mean, he's just looking to get as many people doing stuff there as possible. It's a huge spot. So he's got
needed something like that.
Oh, and yeah, for sure. And there's space in there. You know, he'll rent it out. The dude's just cool to work with. So that's also too. Also, too, another blessing. It's just cool dude to work with, you know.
All right. Shout out to Empire Sports of the Southern Tier. They got like a video game room and like a bunch of like Nerf gun room for like kids' birthdays.
Really?
and
That's
stuff.
interesting.
It's got all sorts of birthday blow up stuff. And
Sounds like somebody we could try to get on here and promote his
Yeah,
stuff too.
absolutely. We've been trying to have more guests on.
Oh yeah, and he's cool, dude.
you could come up with your own ideas and just say we want to rent the space for that, and you'll be like, all right.
Yeah, for sure.
Work something out.
For sure.
That's pretty dope.
So what were last year's awards winners for the festival?
Yeah. So so the awards we have Scariest, Best Director, Best Kill, and last year we did what was it last year? It was the best acting, and we switched that to the Empire State Awards. So it's a New York specific state resident. All New York entries are coming for free. So always, if you're in New York State, enter Wicked Realm Film Festival. You enter for free, and then have this award. So last year,
333 won scariest film.
and that movie was scary as
It was
shit.
from Iran. It was awesome. Best acting was Clone. It's a science fiction movie.
That one was awesome.
That was great.
Mm-hmm.
The best kill went to Greed and Gore for like this really detailed decapitation.
It was sick.
Yeah. And what's the last one?
The last one was best director. That was Hugo, I think.
Oh, yep, Hugo Martinez, Yeah. For the massacre on Halloween night, and he's got another film playing this year called The Stalkers. So he's
Okay.
our only return director.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's cool because like last year you could if you watched it, you would tell that I would say, man, honestly, 50 on whether it was a banger or not. This year it's like every single one's a banger.
100.
Show you all day long. Which one should I watch first? Pick one. Just pick one. They're all fucking fantastic, especially lengthwise. You know what I mean? We have some really dope 5-10 minute ones. It's just like, oh, that was you got to feel a whole emotion in a half in 5-10 minutes, and that's dope. We got some longer ones. Shout out to we got one coming up called Badger, and I love dude. Thing I love about horror is some outrageous comedy horror, because you can go as crazy as you fucking want to, because it's comedy, which is fucking there's no limits in comedy. And there's also no limits in horror. So you get those two things together, it becomes absurd. And it's a beautiful thing. And Badger is like a monster. Total beautiful B. I say B horror with such love. It's a beautiful B horror about just fucking these badgers going apeshit and killing motherfuckers. And they're
That's pretty
fucking
dope.
jumping off shit, and it's fucking outrageous. So, which night is that on?
Blood, Guts, Gore, baby.
Blood Got Score. Yeah, that's a
Wow,
fucked.
that's a
Yeah,
bloody
that's
one.
a lot of
I
the
won't-
badgers go.
I won't be able to make it for that one.
Ah, man.
Might have to try to. I love stuff like that.
Which
like
week
the
is
movie
that?
Slither.
That was
That's the
19th.
So that's
So
the
they're-
third week.
Yeah, they're all Saturday at 8 o'clock, and so it's the 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th.
And the most comprehensive way, you go to our website, wicked-realm.com, or just check out our Facebook, because our Facebook has all the nights all blocked out as events and stuff like that. We want it to be real easy access. Some people like
What's-
sci-fi and shit. We want you to come out sci-fi night.
What's the Facebook link?
The Gangster Octopus.
Yep.
Yeah,
Facebook.com/The Gangster Octopus.
Yep, we'll be sure to have all the links down in the description for the video.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. So that's
You
a lot
guys
of
are
fun.
gonna have vendors again this year. That was a nice ad. I didn't expect that, to have other people there like selling horror stuff. That was cool.
Oh
That was
yeah, it's
really
a lot
cool.
of, oh yeah, totally. Yeah, we like that. That's a lot of fun. It's actually been a nice excuse to be able to see people and stuff. So a lot of these
Yeah.
vendors are this year. So a lot of the
They're high
vendors
school
are
friends.
people that are in the films and shit like that. So it's kind of morphing into where I see eventually we got horror attraction where you got the haunted house attraction next to it. We got in house all sorts of horror shit we're selling, and we're able to fucking now we got our whole setup. We got the screen this year. We got our own speakers and projector and stuff like that, and all that's looking real sharp. So looking to grow.
Still doing the costume contests?
Nope.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we're doing. I think we'll probably do it the final night though. That'll be a lot of fun. The final night is when all of our films are playing, all the local guys and stuff like that. So that we anticipate a huge poppin' night that night.
I'm glad I asked that question because I was about to show up in a
Oh,
costume.
you
the
still
first
should
night.
show up in a
Yeah,
costume.
we were gonna do a. I'm gonna say.
No, we are. We're doing
gonna
it.
do
We're doing a costume contest every night. Everybody
costume.
dress up.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be dressed up the last night, but it won't be a costume. It'll be another wedding
Birthday
outfit
suit.
because I'll be shooting straight from a wedding down to watch
speaking
the
of which,
film.
my sister said she could definitely do your hair like that. She's done it plenty of times. If you have
I got a couple
idea.
people that reached out, so I'll definitely keep her in mind. So
Oh, that's cool. I seen that post.
yeah, I got to do something with my hair. Normally I don't. I just either tie it back or put
Just
it
do
in
a
a
wing
bun.
static.
A what?
Have it go straight up. Just upside down.
You
hairspray.
realize that would be like 3 feet above,
Yep.
4 feet above my head, right?
That'd be great. Get some stock shoes.
Be a
and
big old
fucking-
cone head. Have you guys thought about collaborating with other like Halloween themed places like Bradley Farms? How they have their maze and they do like the zombie shootout stuff and the horror house.
So
Have you guys reached out to
I've worked
them
with
and-
that gentleman that owns the place.
We filmed some of our horror films
Right.
at Bradley Farms.
Yeah, the first year we were trying to intertwine them a little bit more, and we offered like a booth at our night, but they were they had need all their staff there, so.
Yeah, of course.
But we showed I made a trailer for them. It's online, and we played that at the beginning of
That's cool.
each night. So I'll end up stopping by there with a flyer and talking to them. But it's we were kind of just doing our own things, and
Right.
but being them, knowing them personally and just talking to them and stuff is just helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we're like, and it's funny too because we considered, going over there and trying to grab people, in terms of like advertising and stuff, but we are competing like almost like on the same night sort of thing. So like those nights we're also busy,
Right. That's why I'm saying like jump into a collaboration with them.
Oh yeah,
It'll
we're
be
always
like
open for collaboration.
Yeah.
That's what we do. I mean, our team's growing huge, just local motherfuckers that are down. If you're down, we're down to collaborate. We're always trying to put in the work and get it done. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
if people are down, we're definitely down. And yeah, so we've worked with. I mean, and we got like he said, we filmed our first horror film of Wicked Realm. We filmed at Bradley Farms. And that was dope of them. They let us use their shit. It was super cool.
It's cool.
A lot of local places too. We just filmed a scene at the Wellsburg Diner. And they were cool to let us do a thing.
I saw clips from that.
Dude,
yeah.
we killed 16 people that day, bro.
Figuratively.
record.
It's a record.
Figuratively.
No, literally.
Oh no.
Cinematically.
It's
There you
also a
go.
record for how many people we had on one set at once.
Yeah,
For sure.
because it's parts
Big.
of the growing. When we first started, I write a script. No one read the fucking script. If I get you to show up, you had not read the script, and then I'm kind of walking you through what to say, and then we just clip it together. And now these people didn't even read the script, and they watch a movie with them in it, and they're like, "Oh shit, I didn't even know you was filming a whole movie around that." You know what I mean? To like now where we post something on the internet. Hey, we're looking for people to die tonight, and people are like, "Oh, I would love to die," and that's and then that's cool. But now they're also doing it, because a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, I want to do that," and then you're like, "Oh, well, this is fucking Tuesday, bro. Let's do it," and they're like, But we're lucky enough where people enjoy it, and then when you're in the films, and then we have the film festival, people come see it. It's a good time. The filming, it's a good time. Having something that's going to just last and be there that you did is dope.
For sure.
It's fun being in the film and being there while you guys are recording everything, and then getting to see it from that perspective and how it's all being done, and then watching the final product and getting to see the scenes that you weren't a part of as well. That's one of the fun parts for me. That's why I told my brother and his fiance, hey, I'm dipping out from the reception at like 7:45 so I can get back to Elmira.
I mean, we appreciate that, man. We really do. It's going to be a good night.
You're going to be a big star this year because your role in Moonridge Manor is the lengthiest thing that you've done. That's probably the most.
Yeah, that's the most
so
acting I've
far.
done
I
for
can't
one of
wait
you
to see
guys.
that. I've seen some.
Yeah, that's one of Chris's films that he wrote and directed this year was Moonridge Manor. That'll be playing on Gangster Octopus Night.
Oh yeah, that one's going to be a lot of fun because I think that's like one of our first attempts at some sort of visual monster piece, and if you catch the trailer and stuff, there's some octopus tentacles about. And you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. And he did his thing on it. That was a lot of work. We was building cardboard box structures. So to speak of this fucking situation we're talking about earlier with Kismet, man, it's like he's like, yo, man, I got this idea of this box house, and I could really use some. Like, do you know where I get some big boxes, bro? I work at Bath Planet. The boxes that hold baths. I get these boxes that hold baths, so we can just build a whole box hallway. It's like that's more than you could have asked for. If you're like, hey buddy, you got boxes at your job, and they're like, yeah, I got boxes. You're picturing just some boxes, but like it couldn't have been any better because I have these giant boxes. We could build a fucking hallway, and then we did. We're in the Bath Planet. Shout out to Bath Planet, our sponsor for this one.
Yeah.
We're in Bath Planet, the warehouse, and building a cardboard walkthrough hallway. It was dope.
That's pretty dope.
And it looked sick, by the way. They made it look real sick, especially when they got the LED lights inside blowing the
fog.
smoke.
Oh yeah,
the
more
fog.
smog,
Man,
bro.
I was gonna have you on your hands and knees crawling. This is like the only time where like it exceeded my vision. Like, oh, you could actually like it's a whole structure that you could walk through and stuff. Like for it to end up being sicker than I thought it would, just because he happened to have these fucking boxes. It's
Yeah, it's a
awesome.
good feeling.
I'm glad he had the boxes, because if we had to crawl on our hands and knees through like the whole hallway, like we had to going in the fort at your house, that would have been a little rough.
Yeah. And then that spider came out, dude. And
Dude,
then
that thing
bit
was
off that kid's
huge.
leg and then ran back into the hole. It was fucking terrifying.
All right, so we
True
were
story.
already in the fort in his house.
Cardboard
point.
fort.
We gotta
Cardboard.
clarify.
Cardboard fort.
There was one cardboard fort at Bath Planet, the big giant one, and then in my house we made a little one, and so they're on their hands and knees crawling into the little one.
Yeah, we were already in there at one point. We came out and we were getting ready to film a part where we had to crawl back in, and a wolf spider, like probably like that big, came crawling out. I was ready to burn the whole fort
The
down.
whole thing down.
I was like,
I was
burn it
like,
down.
dude. You guys were just
Burn
in
it.
there, man.
Was that planned?
No.
No,
Oh.
it would have been cool if he was like recording and got to like actually
the whole atmosphere.
record that crawling out like
Yeah,
after
because that
we
was
came
a
crawling
fucking
out.
beast, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a beast.
So I want to know about. So this is your third year. What kind of growth have you guys seen in like your team and just as a production as a whole? Where have you seen like from your beginning to where you're at now? Were you expecting this kind of growth? How big is the team when you first started? What's it at now?
I always anticipate to be way easier. I expected more growth. Damn it. It's the growth in terms of the team has been just a really cool thing. So we started off with basically us and our immediate people we could just grab, and then I mean it got down to like I'm calling people like, dude, I got to film this skit on your porch. I'll be there in 5 minutes. We're gonna be there in 5 minutes, and then we're like, they'd answer, they're like, all right, man, you're gonna say this and we're gonna do that, you know. But as we do stuff with the footage, it compels them to want to do stuff too. Like the last year we entered stuff in film festivals, won a few awards, you know, and that inspires them to want to be involved because they see that it's growing in that way, that we
They
are
want to be a part of
right,
something.
right, and they are, and it's fun. And it's hard, and it takes fucking forever, and it's fucking a whole fucking mountain of work when you get there.
Yeah.
But it's dope. And then eventually you're done, and you have this thing forever, you know?
And then you get to feel the accomplishment afterwards and see your product and see what you created and be a part of that. That's a feeling I think a lot of people don't get to experience in their life.
For
and
sure.
A lot of people are missing it. And I'm really glad you guys get to experience that and you're building something like this. It's fantastic, man. It
So
really
like
is.
each year it just grows a little bit. I mean, in every metric that you can measure it, like just the equipment, the computers and lighting, new camera, new equipment. Constantly bought the new screen, and obviously things are going to get better when you're just getting reps in. We've got a lot of reps in now.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest game changer for me personally was when we started judging other people's entries. So I could just see like, oh, that's like the specific error why we don't want to put it in. Where when you make it yourself, you might have rose-colored glasses. But now that I'm looking at it from a fan's point of view, then I have to look at my own stuff from that point of view. And, you know, we've gained a couple people. People have been more committed and more serious now that we have like a system going. Mike's wife, Angelina, has been part of Gangster Octopus pretty much since the beginning. And this year is her first film that she wrote and directed. So that's
Dope.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's a cool thing. I was to mention that because he has an entry, you know, as part of the Gangster Octopus. He wrote a film, I wrote a film this year, and she wrote a film. So
What's her film called?
so it's called Live, Laugh, Love.
Okay.
It's fucking
So cliche.
dude. It's so good. It's so good in terms of you guys are like it's politically, ironically hilarious and fucking. You know, it's got laugh tracks on it. It's almost like a 1950s vibe, and there's a lot of fucking shit terms that'll get you canceled, and it's kind of got a few things on cancel culture, and they kind of go in, man, on their language on that one. She really wrote some shit that makes you think, damn, that's fucking
Awesome.
I was cracking up reading it. It's really funny. It's fucking bold.
I'm
And-
looking forward to that.
And she's like, should I tone it down? I'm like, no, this is fucking. It's so bold, and it's like fucking hilarious. And then you know we added some like campy kid music and some fucking laugh tracks, and it's fucking bizarre and just it was really cool that first off that she wrote it and directed it. You know, that's one fucking thing we didn't have to do for that footage. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful thing. And just, you know, working with her on the project's been really cool. But yeah, she started off just acting. You know, she'd acted in a few roles as my wife. So again, like I said, everyone that was close to us was automatically fucking actors now. You know?
That's dope.
I did the boomstick for that, and that's it. And then Mike did the editing. And I'm like, I think that's about as hands off as I've ever been on one of our productions.
Right, which is really cool.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, as Gangster Octopus, you know, the production take off. You know, we get people that are like, I want to write a fucking movie this year, and then we'll help you film it. You know, you
Right.
got an idea, you got a script, you get some people around. You know, we'll give you a hand with that. You know, because we that's what we want to see. You know, and it's cool. It's a lot of fun.
That's cool that you guys get to experience the different aspects of each job. Like, it's not like you're just strictly a director and that's what you do. You're actually experiencing every part of the production, so you know what needs to be done, what can be done, how hard every position is.
Yeah.
So what's the
It's a
hardest?
shared burden.
What's the hardest part about directing? I didn't ask you guys that last
Schedule,
year.
getting people to be able to show up at the same place at the same time.
That for sure, that's super tough. And one thing before we're talking about this, one thing we were saying is it's for us. It's if you can get one person just to focus on one thing, you end up with such a higher quality. If I'm focused on directing and lighting, both are going to suffer.
Yeah.
If I got one motherfucker focused on just lighting, and in teams, real teams in movies, they got teams of motherfuckers on the lighting. You know, they got teams on motherfuckers on the electric part of the lighting. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy. So like,
I mean, that's why credits are 20 minutes
right,
long.
right. Just to have one dude be like, "Don't you think it looks better like this?" I'm like, "Yep, looks better." That's your focus on it. That is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? So that's growing in different aspects. Like we had a gentleman that did the boom mic for a few projects. His name is Chris, and he fucking just helping out with the boom mic or helping out pointing the lights. He did lighting for us on a couple projects. It was just like so much easier and made it efficient. You know.
Yeah.
For sure. And then like he said with directing is pooling everybody together. You know, you got moods, you know, you got scheduling conflicts. No one's getting paid, so you got that fucking and you know, you have to get people excited about it. It's hard when we do it. It's not fucking easy. And getting everyone on the same page to be on a schedule when everyone else has like jobs and shit. That's a tough deal. So, and it's fucking it's a bitch. And then, you know, the you're a fucking and you end up being a bitch to the project because whatever it takes to get this fucking project done. Like, oh my God, we're all right. You got so like when we're at the Wellsburg Diner, we got 16 people there. If something pops up, because everything always pops up, it's like, okay, we got to get this done. We got fucking 16 people here right fucking now. We're at the Wellsburg Diner, fucking 1 a.m. We got 2 more hours of shit to do. Let's fucking just fucking do this and go home.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so that's a bitch. Getting like he said, man, getting everybody on the same page.
Yeah, we've gone on some marathons, man.
Yeah, because it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing to film for 8 hours. Because I mean, that's really what you'll film if you're working at filming is 8 hours or more, and that's fair. But you're getting paid, and we'll be like, all right. So like we did a film a couple years ago, The Ugly Sweater, and when we started filming at like 8, and we didn't get done filming until like 3. We did the same thing with your house. We were at your house mad late. Mad late, and people get tired, man. I get tired.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
So when you do big shoots like that, when you had 16 people, do you have to get a hold of like authorities beforehand and be like, hey, we're gonna be here, nobody's really dying, so if you get calls
Yo, so
that makes
We're
sense.
just lucky, really.
yo,
Dude had me dressed up as a police officer in front of the park on like a Sunday morning, and I'm just standing there like, shit, like this is.
This is sketch. Oh no.
yo. So when we filmed, so we went over to Wellsburg. There's the boat ramp, or well, not fucking. You know, there's the under the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Water. There's the words. Anyway, so we're gonna go film a scene right down there. When we get there, there's already a bunch of people on boats and they're having a good time and shit. Right next to there is a field with a fucking driveway that goes up it. And I'm like, fuck it. Turn the cameras around. This scene is no longer in the woods. It's down this fucking field. In a narrow road. Cornfield, right? And there's a road. So drive down the road because you got to come. So you got to drive down there and now you got to come up. And we're filming it. And this guy comes up and he's like, is this your property? And we're like, my wife's like, no. And he's like, that's right, because I know whose spot this is. And we're just like, we'll be done in a minute. And they're like, fine. And like, so what the fuck ever, man. It was a guerrilla filming. Yeah.
Sometimes that's the best, though. You know, those random things that just come to you.
That did really work too, because it was like a hostage situation, and they were pulling up to do like an exchange. So it ended up being in the middle of this field with this path down it, and it ended up being way doper than
Right.
it would have fucking looked. It was way doper.
That's awesome that the guy that pulled up on you let you finish the filming of that.
We would have finished, been like, oh yeah, sorry, we're leaving. Cut. All right.
Yeah, we all right.
Yeah, and to that effect, a funny story is when him and I were younger, we were hosting a pro wrestling show in Elmira. and we needed a doctor for this wrestling show, and we didn't know a doctor, so and we got a hold of all the traditional wrestling doctors, and none of them were available. So where are doctors, y'all? At a hospital. So we walked into a hospital, and we just kind of started wandering around the hospital behind the scenes, talking to whoever we could about it, and they ended up escorting us, being like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, oh, we're just looking for this. They're like, come here. And they misunderstood us. They brought us into the emergency room. And then they pulled in people that were like not doing very well in this emergency room. So we dipped out of the emergency room scenario, ducked back into the hospital, and then eventually found a doctor who was cool, and they ended up doing the show.
That's so.
So, I mean...
We got kicked out of 3 offices that day.
I mean, that's a great memory, though. That's a story right there.
Pretty bold.
You know, so whatever it takes.
It's a good mindset to have, whatever it takes.
Yeah. To be passionate about it like that, though, and then you get to tell a story like that. Like, we were so bold, we were walking through a hospital, and we just got kicked out everywhere until we didn't.
Since you were on the topic of wrestling, I saw a post. You guys coming out of retirement?
Oh no!
Okay.
That was a good post
Okay.
though. I saw that and I was like, it's funny because I watched that video and it's a highlight video of us, and it's kind of an extended video of us, and I watched it, and it was like, I don't really watch our wrestling because I got injured, and that's a bummer. But I don't really feel that way anymore about it. So I watched it and I said, oh damn, we was pretty good. Oh shit, we did that move. Damn, look at us. And then I was like, damn, we that was pretty dope. And then shared that, and
I actually work with a guy now that said he refereed one of your guys' matches. His name's John. John.
Oh, we know John.
You know John?
Oh, we know John.
who's John?
John.
No.
The ref. He was in one of
Keep
our
it simple.
movies. We did like a hybrid pro wrestling, but more gangster octopus style movie on the 4th of July. It was around COVID, so we were like deprived.
He was the ref in that, right?
Oh, and yeah, and he turned on us. He turned on us in our match.
Yeah, it was a good time. That was a good one.
Kings of the Carnies.
That's what it was called, was
Yeah,
Kings of the
yeah.
Carnies?
Yeah.
Is that out on the interwebs
It's on YouTube
anywhere?
right
It
now.
really is, and that's fun. If you like
I'm gonna have to
wrestling,
watch that one.
that's a comedy about wrestling, about us just swindling some dude into funding a wrestling show for us. And then half of the show is legitimately some really dope pro wrestling that ends into a whole fucking pish posh with the cops showing up. It's just a good time.
I'm definitely going to give that one a watch. I'll even put the link for that one down in
Yeah,
our
yep, that'd be
description.
cool.
So if anybody listening wants to give it a watch.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
What's the craziest, wildest submission you guys got this year? Like just off the walls, like, yeah, no, we can't do
yeah.
that.
I wish I could pronounce it right, but it's some French words that ends with terror, but it's terror.
Terrar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should bring it up on my phone. Nah, but I just won't be able to pronounce it correctly.
It's a French
But,
word. It's fucking...
What's really cool is it was filmed in New York. I can't remember where, but Hudson Valley. So it's filmed in Hudson Valley at a winery. It's brutal. It's on Blood, Guts, Gore night. It's very violent, and so I don't want to spoil it and answer your question, but it's pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's real cool, man. It's dope because of the industrial aspect of the winery and how just fucking when you look at big machines and stuff and there's some gore happening, it really is just like, oh, that's unsettling.
Yeah.
And that's a very unsettling movie. And it's on Blood, Guts, and Gore night, which is
I'm gonna pull it up on my phone and then I'm gonna pass it around and see how you guys want to pronounce this film.
Yeah, because when things happen with big machinery, that's things that can happen in real life. Because I've known people that have gotten limbs
Oh,
crapped
yeah.
in there and crushed.
oh, that's
Yeah.
terrifying.
and yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
real.
just like Final Destination. We've all been driving on the highway. We've all been behind a giant timber truck. But as soon as we all saw that scene, nope,
Oh, yeah.
other
Oh,
lane,
always
passing
going the
you.
left lane.
See ya. That traumatized an entire generation of
Yeah.
people, and it was
Was
just
there
a simple thought, and none of us thought about it until we're like, that 30-foot
There you go.
tree can come straight through
was
my
there
car.
any submissions that were like too gory and bloody or
Nope.
just too
So we had so last year we had something that was a little bit too vulgar in terms of bodily
Ooh, I like
fluid.
that
Oh,
word.
yo, did we accept wolf
Chateau
culture?
Sauvignon Terroir.
You know what I'm
I
talking about?
already erased it from my head. I don't know. What you're talking about.
Chateau, for sure.
There was some peeing in movies, man. There's some peeing in movies.
Okay.
That I'm maybe just really, what's up with this, guys?
You know, I don't think we've ever disqualified a movie for being too violent. There was one that had like titties, and I was like, we don't, we want it to be
Yeah.
friendly.
I've
And
never
then there's
enjoyed
one.
sexual things in horror movies. It kind of takes away
Chateau
from it.
Savion Terreau.
There you
There
go.
you go.
He said it.
That's the best way you
Snip
could say
that and send it to me so I know how to say it. But when we disqualify stuff, it's never been from being too violent. It's been like controversial in a way that we just don't feel is tasteful, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, and like violence, it's like so my kids were young when we started doing this, and like they look at that shit like it's what it is. It's a fucking mannequin head or fucking just fucking corn syrup and shit. So they're not even seeing. So it's like violence is like yeah, I'm sure if someone turned in some like some weird depravity violence, we'd be like, that's too much. But as far as like slasher shit and murder and blood and gore, we have blood, guts, gore, and this is what it's about. Where you're gonna see some fucking fucked up shit. You're gonna see, especially come on fucking gore night. You're gonna see fucking some fucked up shit. Man.
I wish I could
The
make
fucked
it
up
on
shit
that
guaranteed.
That's why we put a parental advisory sticker on the poster.
Yeah,
this
that
year.
was this year. That was this
real?
year. Cause
Someone brought their baby, our friend.
brought their fucking
Brought their
our
baby?
homie brought his like 2-year-old.
yeah. So
Oh no, that's nightmares for you.
Traumatized for years.
so
Especially on blood and gore, like you see intestines getting pulled out of people, arms getting
Oh, yeah.
dismembered.
You're gonna see
you're
that.
gonna see all of
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
for
because
sure.
and it's
Some
we did
human
talk about the
centipede shit.
quality of something that's a little bit more low budget, but I mean this shit is you can be like, damn, they just got their arm ripped off, for instance, or whatever it is. It's official. It's fucking dope as fuck, and it's official.
Nice.
It's just a real cool deal.
We'll definitely start spreading the
Sad I can't
posters
be there
out
on that
again
night.
some more. I
The
think
way-
we've all basically
Oh, I should
shared.
have let.
so-
I'll have to come back with some flyers.
Yeah.
Well, you live down the street.
That's true. Absolutely.
It was cool seeing the flyers up last year around at gas stations and just local stores and everything like that.
Yeah, try to be out there as much as possible.
They might let me put some at the front counter at Domino's.
I mean, I'm going to.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I thought
Screw 'em.
because they do let us put stuff on the front counter, just not in the windows, right?
Yeah. It can't have anything too graphic. Can't be political or religious or blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's none of
About
that.
it.
Yeah, there's none of that.
How many people does that venue fit at one point?
So there's 100 chairs, so it's small. So if just throwing that out there in terms of tickets, we're already sold some tickets. It's not even October. You know what I mean? And once we're at 100, it'll be standing until there's no more people that could stand, and then it'll be like
So bring your own chair.
BYOC. Just kidding. There should be 100. But yeah, if it might end up being, and I mean, how fucking thankful would we be? I mean, if we had to extend it into other nights and shit like that, that would be a thing that we'd be open to do
Great.
if the demand was there.
Where do we buy the tickets?
Wicked-realm.com. Everything can be seen on the website. The website's super dope because it has a trailer to everything. If you want to know a synopsis to all the movies, see all the photos, everything we got,
Nice.
it's pretty much up on the website.
Okay.
So you get everything on the website, and it's better than social media because social media you can't really here. It's a comprehensive look at everything. Plus you can buy your tickets, and then get the gold pass and get the tickets for all 4 nights.
We'll also be sure to have that link down in the description so you can check out that website as well.
And we'll definitely all share it a couple
Oh, yeah.
times next
Oh,
couple of weeks.
Do you guys have
Absolutely.
any merch that goes along with the Gangster Octopus? Like, do you have Gangster
Yeah,
Octopus
you guys need a
plushies?
plushie for sure. You need a
Plushie's
Gangster
good.
Octopus.
My mom knitted one, bro. I got a picture.
I
of
like
it.
the art, like your guys' actual Gangster
Yeah,
Octopus.
it's cool.
That thing
Yeah.
would be a sick plushie.
No, for sure.
It really would.
Some
I
sure.
got- I just got a heat press, and we got the direct-to-film transfers
Oh, yeah.
for the Wicked
Yeah, so
Realm.
there'll
So
be
now we got
shirts.
Wicked Realm shirts this year. We got last 2 years Wicked Realm DVDs. We're not sure if we'll have. We'll see about this year. We might have this year available when you go to this year.
Oh, like a
on a
compilation
DVD.
of everything. That
But
you could,
just Gangster Octopus stuff.
Okay.
Just our stuff.
Cool, cool.
What's your guys' favorite scary movie?
Favorite
all time?
scary?
It follows.
It Follows.
It
huh?
follows.
I've never seen
like,
that.
easily.
Yeah?
You have not seen that.
It Follows.
I'll have to check it out.
It was 2013 maybe. It's about it's an STD that there's this entity that follows you and it'll just walk and it can take the shape of anybody and you have to do the deed to pass it on and then it starts following them and once it kills that person,
Jesus
then it
Christ,
goes
dude.
back to the person that it was.
So it's basically The Ring, but an ST.
it's
Yo, that's some
I love that
abstinence
movie.
propaganda.
Sounds maybe not one for date night, but
I'm a fan of classics. Favor of all time. I'm big into like monster horrors. So The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Nice.
Yo, the first time I ever saw that, I was like, animatronics are fucking sick.
yeah,
And
super
just
cool.
The way like one of the doctor's head starts and turns into the little crab. Oh, that shit was dope.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved
That's
it.
some real art, man. That
That-
shit is
it was.
real.
I didn't see
I
that
would love
movie
to
for the
see that
first
stuff
time
again.
until maybe 5-6 years ago.
There's so much content, man.
The prelogue movie too. I love the prelogue movie too. The Swedish camp. Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
2017, 2018.
Okay.
It's The Thing as well. Just
Oh,
called The
that
Thing.
wasn't a remake?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's the camp before. So like in the movie John
watch it
Carpenter's
now.
The Thing when they're
I didn't
chasing when they're chasing the dog in the helicopter,
Yep.
that's the final scene. Yeah, it's good.
That's
It's good.
cool.
It's good.
Man, thinking about it, I might have to say I'm a huge fan of the original Pet Cemetery.
Nice.
Ooh.
I was thinking about it hard. Like when it comes to like thrasher movies or like serial killer movies, I'm for the Halloween movies.
Jason
And
X.
I didn't want to say like that's like my
Jason
favorite
Space.
because I feel like that's like such a classic. I didn't want to throw that out there. So, and it might be a bias too because actually that's one of the first horror movies I ever saw was Pet Cemetery, and it terrified me when I was a kid.
That
So,
shit was
like-
on TBS all the time or
Yeah.
some shit. Like TV,
And I watched-
man.
I watched it late at night. I couldn't sleep, so I came downstairs because my dad was sleeping down there. So I went to sleep in his room, and he had it on the TV while he was knocked, and I was watching it and couldn't go back to sleep. And man, it scared the shit out of me. I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Yo, you ever watch so I watched it all the time when I was a kid, and that was always on like TNT or some shit. And then I watched that shit the other day, and they was swearing a lot more than I remember. You know what I mean? Like when you remember a show from like TBS
Yep.
when they censored it, it was modified for television.
And
then you
scenes
watch
get
it on
cut.
scenes
Lot different.
cut.
All of it.
Crazy.
Yep.
You're like, oh damn, I didn't even. I'd have my kid watch some shit. I'll be watching my shit with a kid because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember watching this when I was a kid, but I watched this shit on TBS. And they bust out some weird shit. I'm like, I ain't never seen this fucking scene. Like,
It's
I
almost a
don't.
whole new movie.
Yo, for sure.
Man.
I'm gonna go with Hereditary.
What at?
That's my favorite scary movie.
Never
What
heard
is
of
it?
that
What's it
one.
about?
Hereditary. I won't tell you what it's about. I'll tell you how it makes you feel. So like most films are like roller coasters, especially like a traditional horror movie, because they gotta like reset you and make you feel like there's fun moments and scary moments, and then romance, and then death or whatever. This movie is like it starts like nails on a chalkboard that just incrementally rises the entire time, and it doesn't stop, and it doesn't give you a break or any room to breathe, and it's just incredibly uncomfortable.
That just sounds like a panic attack.
It is. A lot
like
of
a
people don't
rolling
like this
panic
movie,
attack.
but it's also like a puzzle where each time you watch it, you catch more things, and it's very
Okay.
intricate. So it's not just telling you what's going on; you have to figure it out.
When did it come out?
I think I saw it in the theaters, so I want to say like between 2016 to 18.
Okay, so very relatively new.
Shouldn't a movie like that kind of make you feel like you're having a panic attack, though? That's how you know it's good, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah, dude,
Like-
I can't watch certain things that make me want to have a fucking panic attack. Like if I see in a show, if someone's doing something stupid, or if I can empathize with their embarrassment too hard, I just
Yeah.
skip the fucking scene. I'm like, I can't even fucking. I don't even want to feel this stupid ass emotion.
Yeah. same. I don't want to feel embarrassed for their like mistake.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
I
click.
feel you. Erica had me watching a movie recently. I think it was called Fall, where these girls climb up this giant tower. And dude, like half the movie, I'm sitting there holding the couch because like they're so high up about to fall, and I'm just like, why you got me watching this movie before bedtime, dude? Before bedtime, I want to relax.
Yeah, because they're what, like 20,000 feet in the air or something like that?
Heights are real
not
scary.
that high, but
They
it's
are.
it's I can't remember how high the tower in the movie was, but
I want to say when I went skydiving, that was 20,000 feet. 20,000 feet's real high.
yeah, I only skydived from 13.5.
Was it
so
13.5?
That's what I did.
I paid they were like, you want to spend an extra and get a little higher? I'm like, dude, I'm
would've-
gonna die again.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
man.
dude.
I can't breathe.
I've gone twice. Once was from 13.5. Once was from 10,000.
Okay, so yeah, no, I probably just am off in my remembering because that was fucking years ago and shit. But
Yeah,
it's a 20,000, yeah, right?
I want to do that again sometime.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck that. I don't. I'm driving to Chicago this month because I don't feel like flying. They're like, you're a pussy. I'm like, I jumped out of a plane. I just don't like it. Eat a dick.
At least I could say I've done
Yeah,
it.
you
You know?
can't call me a pussy. I just not my
Flying.
preference, pal.
Flying sucks though. Driving places is so much better, anyways.
It just takes so long.
It does take longer.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the time, you
Yeah,
get
if
to
you got the time, do
visit
it.
new food places,
Mhm.
and you get to see the
Places
scenery
that'll blow your
and-
dick off. and-
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you guys are ever in New Haven, Connecticut, you got to try Sally's of Pizza if you're a fan of pizza. It blew my dick off.
blow your dick off, guaranteed.
Best pizza I've ever had in my life. Dave
What body
Port-
part would
Dave-
it blow off next? Since
It'd probably blow my asshole right out. Dave Portnoy scored it a 9.2. It's best pizza I've ever had. They use a charcoal oven. So, like, imagine a pizza that tastes like it just came off the grill with that char flavor. It's so good.
I fucking really enjoy pizza, man. So
Yes,
You're making
yeah.
me hungry.
Pizza Hall here.
Charcoal ovens are a game changer. That was the
Oh, they
first time
are.
I ever had a charcoal
sure.
oven
Yeah.
pizza.
yeah.
So
You
Well-
have like weird brick oven places around here, or places that do conveyor. You think their pizza is good? No, for sure. You go to like a charcoal burning stove, brick oven, or places that use like maple wood to cook their pizzas. Yeah, you'll never taste another pizza again in your life. You'll be like, "What have I been missing?" This shit's crazy. It changes it. Totally changes it.
So, what plans or any plans at all do you guys have for the future of the festival?
Yeah.
More plans than we can possibly do. It's like we can only do so much. So we've got
Incrementally.
ideas. We're not short of ideas. We're short
Expand
of
the
like,
team.
money and people, which is just growing. So just it's going to be exponential in growth. I could tell.
Yeah, I want to get involved with some live theatrics at these things, so there's whether it's like jump scare walkthroughs or like some interactive shit or selfie stations with some characters. I'd like to get get some.
You got to find some nerdy cosplayers. There are some people out
We know.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah. They will go to town. That's-
and that's dope. If you know someone like that, link us up if they're not too crazy. Even if they're a little crazy, you gotta be a little crazy to do certain things. We dig
Yeah.
it.
There's some Discord channels out there. It could reach out, find some people.
I'm not on Discord.
I don't.
It's
I don't
a
use it
huge
either.
community.
Oh, yeah, for
There's
sure.
lots of channels. So
Oh yeah, for
there's
sure.
plenty of people
I
out
just
there.
don't know. I'm not familiar with the platform. I don't know what it is. My kids say it. I don't know what it is.
Isn't that the video game streaming?
that
It's
Twitch?
not streaming. It's more like think of like AOL.
Oh,
it's
okay.
got-
like
yeah,
group-
it's for
group-
chatting.
Yeah,
group
yeah,
chat
yeah.
stuff.
It
Okay,
really
chats.
brings
Okay.
but you can stream video. You can
Oh, yeah.
do sound. It's got audio recording. You can stream your videos live from your
Yeah,
computer and
Discord's
everything like
awesome.
that. They even have the mobile app now, so you can connect to people. Yeah, it's just
Chat
basically
rooms
a
are the
giant
shit,
chat room.
right? That's cool.
Yeah, until you found
ASL.
out all the people asking ASL were actually like
You
50-year-old dudes in their
yeah.
basement.
They're still there, bro.
Creepy
They're
fucking
still-
Yeah,
people.
they are.
They're all on Discord, huh?
There's probably a lot of them because there are a lot of
No, they're on like
weird channels.
Roblox.
Yeah, you heard about that
Oh,
too?
yeah.
Some weird shit on Roblox.
Oh yeah, we got her. Yeah.
I didn't hear about that. I probably don't want to.
There's weird mods on that video game, and people have been
well,
discovering
and, yeah,
some
people,
strange things.
Roblox is mostly kids playing, so people will get online and try and connect with.
They go
players
where the
on
kids
there.
are at. That's what it's always at.
All right.
I mean,
Nice,
that's-
cool T-shirt, bro.
No, that's
I can't believe you wore that one today. That's a
Yeah.
weird shirt to wear.
So, what was your guys' biggest challenge this year setting up? Was it just finding the venue, or was it something
Finding the
different?
fucking time. Time was my biggest challenge this year.
It's true. Well, like even we just had to get the time to blow up the giant inflatable screen in the venue, and then we're gonna have to prop it up on a bunch of tables so that people sitting back can see the screen because
Mhm.
right now it just lays on the floor. And there's
It'll
so many.
look less carny than how it was described, but yes.
if this was our job, it would be fine, but it's not. So like,
Right.
he's got a family, we got things going on, and then we gotta cram in all this stuff. That,
Yeah, because I mean, you put an additional 20 hours a week on top of what you already work. That's a bitch. But it's positive. But that is the biggest challenge. Is like just finding the time. Like, okay, cool. We need to block out an 8-hour day where we can get 16 people together, and it's fucking hard to find that specific time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's
why you're doing it.
And there's only a
3 a.m.
finite.
sometimes.
Right. Because once they're all there, we just tell them they can't leave. You're stuck, bro. Sorry.
I'm sure it's a
Lock the
challenge in and
door.
of itself trying to, herd 16 people into position and what they're doing, getting them all to remember their lines and
Oh yeah, all that stuff. Right? Yeah. Oh yeah, all that stuff.
It's almost like running a business, you know? It's
that you don't get paid for.
yeah.
Right, but
It's passion.
but the I'd say one of the number one things you get paid for is entertaining a motherfucker. So I mean, as you guys know, certain things take a XYZ amount of time. There's obviously a tremendous amount of money in movies. You'd be fucking asshole to be like, well, there's just no money in the game, Daddy-O. I fucking send all my money to Netflix and fucking whatever the fucks and all these streaming services and shit. There's plenty of opportunity in movies,
There was no money in it, but I still got paid when I helped them out. The fun was enough. That was payment
Yeah.
enough, man.
Paying fun.
I've had fun every time I've helped you guys out. That's why I've offered. It's just fun to do.
It is. Thanks.
Yeah, you've been a huge contribution to the team for sure.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, dude. You're one of the most reliable motherfuckers. I know if we say 11 o'clock, it'll be 11 o'clock. You'll be there and shit. You know what I mean?
Most
That's
likely
fucking- that's a
10:40,
challenge.
10:45.
Yeah,
I'm
amen,
usually
dude.
always
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. But that's super challenging, But again, as we develop further, it's becoming less and less of a challenge to get someone to show up on time because, they want to get into a film that's going into a film festival because, hey, fuck, you never know. I mean, you never know. If your name's not in the pot, you definitely know. But if your name's in the pot and it's getting sent out there, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
You might find a bunch of fucking huge cardboard boxes in a fucking bath warehouse. You know what I mean? But if you don't ask about it, you're certainly not going to be given it,
Absolutely.
How early do y'all start recording for like the following year?
As early as we can, really. We get the earlier the better. We've started filming as early as I want to say like maybe December.
So
It just doesn't
Right
feel
away.
like there's any consistency there. It
For
just
sure.
seems like because last year we did the Ugly Sweater, but it was like a winter movie. It's a Christmas movie,
So
and
we had
I
to.
wanted to wait until like May because I wanted it to be nice outside for my film. So it's
Right.
it's all over the place. There's no real answer to that.
Yeah, fucking A, it's a whole process too, because you got to write it first.
Yeah.
And then, then you got to film it, then you got to post edit it, and then you got to promote it at this year's Wicked Realm Film Festival. And by the time we get kicked out of this shit, it'll be November. And we're like, all right, cool, we'll start, we should, in theory, start, we should have that ticked back a bit, you know what I mean? I should
Right.
already have written the shit I'm filming next year, but that ain't even close, dog.
We're still
So-
editing.
yeah, we're still editing shit for this year.
Well,
know?
I mean, there is only a finite amount of time, and
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And deadlines are dope because if there wasn't a deadline, you just keep tinkering with it.
Yeah.
But as long as you have that deadline, and you care about the deadline, so you work towards it, you don't just fucking blow it off. Because deadlines are arbitrary if you made it up yourself for yourself. You know what I mean? But if you look at it like a real fucking thing and you just fucking make sure you get it done by then yeah.
Yeah, we've always booked ourselves into having to complete stuff since the beginning. Like the first year, it was just a concept like, oh, we should do this next year and we should announce it right now. Not knowing what it was even going to be.
Oh yeah, we've announced shit before we've had any venues and stuff like that, and just assumed that
well, that's good though because it kind of locks you in, and you're
Fuck
like,
yeah.
we can't let people down. We said we're going to do this. We've already determined it. Therefore, we're going to do it.
It's like that living in abundance mindset. You're setting it up because in your mind you've already got it. You're gonna have it.
Yeah, and if you had it, you'd announce it, and you're gonna get it, so you might as well announce it because it's about to happen. Were you not gonna do it?
That's kind of how I live. Everything just works out all the time, and I don't have to worry about anything. It just happens.
Oh, it just works.
Yeah, everything has always worked. Everything's just been always okay.
It's like
Then
you're
how come your
blessed.
air conditioning wasn't working earlier this summer?
It eventually,
Huh?
it eventually was okay.
Just magic started working again, huh? All right, we got any other questions? Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Well, he asked about favorite films. What's like favorite horror genres?
Yo, I like in terms of I like the Purge series, like the
Purge is
Purge,
good.
because I think it's an interesting version of action and horror,
Yeah.
and I think that's kind of cool. It was a unique take. I thought the first one was a little weak because they kept it in the house. Not sure how familiar you are with these movies, but the other ones they were all out and about, and it was like an adventure horror fucking, and
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
like it felt, and it was all political, and it just I like big world universe. You know, like when they did like zombie apocalypse, but they're showing it what's like in this country or that country and
Yeah.
that country. I think that whole global aspect to it's kind of cool, a lot of fun.
That's why zombie movies were so big in the early 2000s. Like it was
Oh, yeah,
typically
there
on a
was- there
global
was 10 a
scale and
year.
everything.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, when
zombies
the Walking
definitely my
Dead, when the
favorite.
Walking Dead was hype,
Yeah.
there's plenty of zombies.
Until it turned into The Talking Dead at like
Oh, yeah.
season 3, where it was just people problems, not zombie problems no more.
Yeah,
That
and-
was
and then something could be said about the real monsters were the people.
yeah.
But you know,
Artistic twist on it.
Yeah, you stumped me on that one, man. I can't pick a genre. I don't know.
I mean,
I
if
would-
you
I would
love them
think
all, you
just
love
like
them all.
maybe the opposite of what Mike's saying in terms of like the scale. Like the original Alien movie is probably the next
I'm
on my
going to
list.
see the new one soon. I've
Right.
heard so many good things.
It was.
Stop.
It was a movie.
Oh, it was a movie.
It was a movie.
all
I'm gonna
movies
see it.
are.
I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, so I'll just say like sci-fi horror. Maybe.
Dude, I really like though a nice comedy horror. Anything that's gonna
Comedy horrors
fucking,
are
you know,
great.
head explodes, someone runs over the head, and it's like, and you can
Dale and
over-exaggerate.
Tucker
You get the-
versus Evil.
Oh yeah, dude, exactly,
Oh.
dude. That shit is fucking gold.
Yeah, it's-
and you
it's-
can get so exaggerated with the gore, and it doesn't have to be realistic because it's funny and it's fucking
Yeah.
scary, thematic. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. One of my favorite scenes of any movie of all time is when they just dive headfirst into the wood chipper.
Oh, yeah. it's shit like that is fucking gold.
Yeah.
Like the Velocipaster. If anyone's ever seen that
Never
one,
I've heard the
that.
name.
He, it's like lycanthropy, where he turns into a velociraptor.
Yep,
Yeah.
It's outrageous. It's fucking stupid, but it had me cracking up. And
It's
then
just
there's
like Sharknado and shit.
yeah,
like
and
that.
as long as there's like so it's interesting too because once you get into like Sharknado, you start talking about CGI gore, which is almost like it's like a different type of a B horror movie.
Yeah.
Because as I watch all these B horror movies, there's some that's a little bit there's the computer graphic horror is like. It gives a weird vibe if it's low budget.
Yeah.
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
I'm with it though. It's hilarious. You know what I mean? But if you get like, I'd rather see like a fucking watermelon full of gore and gets run over by a head and see exaggerated splat and blood everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, shit like that.
So if you like the exaggerated blood and stuff, like, you ever seen the movie Feast? I think I talked about this last time.
This
It
sounds
was-
serious though.
It was good. It was good. It was so good. The first one, the next 3 after that were pretty trash. But the first one was produced by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, and it's just one of those. It's a creature horror, and the gore is just so over the top. It's like everybody's trapped in a bar, and the creatures are outside trying to break in, and these creatures, they just eat people, but they do it in like razor blades. And when they eat everybody, it's just blood and guts and everything all over the place. It was so good. It was one of my favorite movies for
And
probably 6 years.
Yeah,
It
it's a
was
fun
so
time.
good.
That's a fun time. Blood going everywhere. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
And Slither's one of my favorites too. That shit's hysterical.
Sounds familiar.
Something's wrong with me. That was so good.
I feel so lost. I haven't seen like any of the movies that were just
No.
mentioned.
Slither is a very good horror comedy. That's a real good one. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about for the festival this year?
Every Saturday night in October.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do you happen to know the address for the Empire?
It's 300 North Main Street.
300 North Main.
Yep. Which is an old cathedral church.
It's
Fucking
dope.
awesome.
If you know what I mean, if you
You
talk
should
about
convince him
ambiance.
to ring the bell.
If there was a bell, there wouldn't take much convincing. That dude's down for what the
You'd be
fuck.
like, here are the keys, go ring
I'm
that
sure-
shit.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah,
here's
you
the
can go
fucking,
ring it,
yeah,
yeah.
go ring it, man.
Yo,
You got
just
bell privileges for the day and shit.
Ring it 60 seconds before showtime. Dun, dun.
And the place is called Empire Sports Twin Tiers.
We've been calling it Empire Sports Center to
It's the Empire Sports Complex.
Empire Sports of the Southern Tier.
I've seen,
that
yeah, I've
what
seen
it's
like
called?
5 different names.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's new. You know what I mean? I'm sure he doesn't know what to fucking call it because it's a basketball court, a venue. There's a
Right.
fucking you could serve alcohol there and shit. I mean,
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
gonna be alcohol and food and shit. So I mean, it's a crazy fucking place. So I mean, what do you call a center, a complex?
That is true. Yeah, just throw like 5 words
spot.
together.
Yo, the
spot.
spot. Yeah, the spot's a good one. Maybe he's listening. And
Empire
he's like,
Sports, the spot.
Yeah, we'll try to reach out to him, get him on.
Yeah, definitely
You
would
know,
like
before
to.
the shows, so he can promote as well, and then promote his own spot. I'm sure there's places around.
I assume
yeah.
he's going to be there
Maybe not.
during.
Yeah, maybe not.
He's giving
It's-
us the keys, and he's just like, it's our responsibility, really.
yeah. So he's
He might show up.
Yeah, he doesn't. It seems like he's not going to micromanage the situation. You know, he's
Right.
going to have someone else there, but they're going to be selling alcohol and shit, so he might be there. But he's got his
Right.
people selling alcohol and food.
Let's
and shit.
party.
Yeah,
Every
it's
Saturday.
gonna be a party every Saturday.
Drink responsibly. Drink responsibly.
I won't be. It's sober October.
Yep.
Sober October. Nice.
All right, Jesse, you want to
intro?
kick that outro?
The outro.
Yep. Time to start all over again.
Thank you guys.
Hey,
Appreciate having us on.
thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here. This was a fun episode. We're gonna have super fun time. I'm gonna make at least one night, hopefully 2. Definitely making the last one. That's yeah, it's gonna be sick. But yeah, thanks for coming out. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And on that note, goodbye.